Have you ever thought that the history of mankind hides beneath our feet? It may be a disturbing idea, but it is precisely in the depths of the earth where archaeologists discover amazing finds year after year. Some of them have completely changed the way we understand our past. Others have raised new enigmas that remained unsolved. However, none has been as surprising as these 5 incredible underground discoveries that we will unravel today. Do you dare to join us? Then it's time to begin. Number 5. The Hidden City. As surprising as it may seem to you, human beings have been forgetting their own past over time. It happened in the Dark Ages of Europe when the Western Roman Empire was destroyed, and the tribes that populated its spaces didn't know how to build aqueducts or roads. But it also happened with much simpler things such as the origin of certain statues or hidden cities. In the latter case, in Cappadocia, Turkey, there was a metropolis that was forgotten by mankind. It is Derinkuyu, a subterranean city in the volcanic depths of the region. It is believed that at its peak of splendor, it supported up to 20,000 inhabitants. Although, since the 7th century BC, it was forgotten by everyone. However, life continues around this area, with its back to the existence of hidden secrets in the volcanic rock. Thus, over time, a large city was formed around it, and it was precisely this that made a random man discover the entrance to the city while making an extension in the basement of his house. The discovery is, to say the least, an extraordinary finding. No one could believe it, but explorations seem to indicate that this is indeed the city of Derinkuyu, a place full of secrets and powerful traditions that archaeologists are still trying to decipher. Number 4. An emergency exit. Is it possible that to escape from a place we must sink to the bottom of the earth? Perhaps your immediate answer is a resounding no. But even if it's surprising, Saddam Hussein had a much better imagination than most people. In 2003, just after the US invaded Iraq, the military found a wide variety of objects buried throughout the country's sandy wastelands. There were nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons, bizarre guns made entirely of gold, a Quran written with blood, and even a romantic novel that belonged to Saddam. However, none of this compares to the secret weapon they intended to use in emergencies. It was a full battalion of MiG-25 Foxbat fighter aircraft and Su-25 fighter bombers, perfect weapons to counterattack and surprise an enemy if necessary. The aircraft were completely buried in the sand, and a great effort was made to get them out of hiding. However, it is believed that there was another interesting fact behind this discovery. The structure was designed to serve as an escape route and as a base for surprise attacks, and was developed in such a way that Saddam Hussein probably intended to use that strategy to escape to a neighboring country, or to get out of the American radar while sending fighters to serve as bait. A rather original idea, although he never succeeded in carrying it out. Number 3. An unexpected booty. It probably won't surprise you to learn that after archaeological explorations, the second most usual reason people have for digging up the earth is to look for money. There are millions of myths about this subject. It is believed that mobsters buried their money in the woods, as countless businessmen, kings, or ancient civilizations did, so people try to find these treasures more regularly than you can imagine. However, in 2011, Wayne Sabaj was not one of these people. In fact, he was quite the opposite. That day, he was in Chicago gardening, trying to dig up some vegetables, water the plants, and extract the fruit from the trees when he came across something strange. In the exact hole where he intended to plant a new tree, there was a strange beige-colored object. He immediately kept digging deeper. The object slowly took shape. At first, it looked like a box, then like a sack, and finally it was simply a sturdy bag made out of pallets. There was another one inside it, and so it was repeated at least 4 times, until Wayne finally discovered a wad of bills. It wasn't just any amount, it was a lot of money. Too much to be true. It totaled $150,000, but no family member allowed him to keep it. So the police came on the scene and began tracing the money to the Sabage's former neighbor. This was Dolores Johnson, a woman who had thrown the money away because she believed it to be cursed. In fact, Johnson died a few months after burying the money, and her daughter, Diane Howe, came to claim it. However, the case went to court, and it wasn't until 2013 that a verdict was reached. But by then, the Sabages were in no position to receive anything. Wayne Sabage and his father had passed away, and the judge ruled to split the money between the Howes and the Sabages. Number 2. Memories from the past. Time capsules are nothing new. You've probably seen many of them in cartoons or school projects. They are small artifacts in which all sorts of objects are inserted so that future generations can open them in 50 or 100 years and discover what life was like back then. However, things don't always go as planned, and Western high school students discovered this in 2013 when the 50th anniversary of the capsule buried in 1963 was about to be celebrated. The event was massive and iconic, but when they began digging in the designated area, they discovered something unexpected. The capsule was gone. The event was practically ruined, and for a whole week they kept searching until they found the capsule in a completely different place than the one originally indicated. The capsule was still intact, but there were terrifying and disturbing objects inside. No one was ever able to explain the mysterious event. Number 1. A message with no destination. Sometimes art is extravagant and lacks logic or purpose, and artists like the Swiss Christophe Buchel seem to gloat over it. For several years now, he has been experimenting with all kinds of trends, but he recently started a particular project called Terminal. The idea, sponsored by a number of patrons, is to bury a decommissioned Boeing 727 somewhere on the planet. To make it possible, $1.5 million are needed, and it has been cataloged as a psychological work that tries to tell the story of contemporary anxiety by burying an object as dominant as an airplane underground. According to the latest news, the work seems to be progressing, and it may be possible to hide this aircraft in a place in the world without anyone knowing it in a short time. Will someone discover it in the future? Surely they will be very surprised when they do. Ground Zero, Unknown. Recently, a group of workers at an old factory in the eastern province of Igdir, Turkey, stumbled upon a skeleton of an unknown animal. The remains were completely intact under the ground, and the animal had a distinctly predatory jaw with large and numerous sharp teeth. Soon after, the factory managers reported their discovery to researchers at the Biodiversity Applications and Research Center at Igdir University, and the results were unusual. The scientists in charge of the case transported the skeleton to the university, and after several tests, they discovered that it was an unrecorded creature, a species with claws instead of hooves and almost prehistoric teeth that did not match any creature in the area. Some considered that it might be some sort of chupacabra or a mysterious creature from folklore, but the case remains unsolved. No one knows which creature this skeleton belongs to, but whatever it is, let's hope there are no others like it in the rest of the world. The world is full of creepy monsters that appear in the least imaginable places. Would you like to meet any of them? Then check out the following videos and get ready to continue discovering some beasts you will never forget.